I check my watch to see that it's almost time for me to leave. Looking up to Sonoria, I study her features thoughtfully. This could be a good test for her, to see if she can really keep up with my games.
I'm afraid I have an appointment I must get to.
I begin, my tone calculated and contemplative.
Why don't you accompany me?
Odd. I could have sworn I'd seen a flicker of recognition, but there's no way Sonoria could know, is there? What kind of appointment is it, if you don't mind my asking? She asked, her gaze seeming to sharpen with intelligence as if she already knew the answer.
Today is Thursday.
I began slowly, watching her expression closely.
I have been hired to read in Latin by a Mr. Hans-Georg Schuveld every Thursday evening. He is an elite who has lost most of his sense of sight. He is nearly blind.
Sonoria hummed contemplatively, seeming to think it over before studying my expression with a cool and observant gaze that made me feel almost exposed. A feeling that I do not like, but also find a strange thrill in. Perhaps this woman might be worth keeping around after all. We shall see how she handles Schuvald, given that I've already told her I had plans for the man. I see, she muses, resting her cheek against steepled fingers with a faint knowing smoke. You're testing me, aren't you, Mr. Liebert? My eyes almost widen, but I catch myself, my lips turning upward in the ghost of a smirk.
Perceptive as always, Miss Nighthope.
I note, a hint of mocking in my tone.
Yes, I'd like to see your skills in action, if you'd be so kind as to indulge me.
Sonoria gestures in assent, her gaze cool, warm, and knowing. An odd contradiction as she speaks in a confident and calm tone. By all means, when should we depart?
We should be going now, if I'm being quite honest.
I tell her as I move to stand, watching her every move with a calculated expression. As I lead her through the streets of Munich, I watch the way she observed her surroundings from my peripheral. She seemed to be making mental notes of the signs and observing the people passing by on the sidewalk.
You know, Miss Nighthope.
I begin, my tone calculated and casual.
I wonder just how much more you know than what you seem to be letting on.
Sonoria's eyes sharpened with amusement before she let out a warm and knowing chuckle. There is always infinitely more beneath the surface, Mr. Liebert. Her tone was cryptic and seemed to hint at a knowledge she wasn't keen on sharing just yet. What exactly did she know that I didn't already?
Yes, indeed.
I mused, wondering if perhaps it was knowledge of the future that this cryptic woman was hiding. She had mentioned that she wanted to change the future. Perhaps she was keeping that knowledge quiet now, for whatever reason. Yes, she seemed oddly familiar with everything around her currently, with me especially, yet strangely unfamiliar at the same time, based on how she was noting the street signs, as if she'd seen the area, but not visited in person. How? Perhaps I should watch her more closely. After walking for some time, we reach a large mansion, the buttresses and eaves reaching high above us from where it sat surrounded by luxurious yet depressing gardens. I'm assuming Mr. Schuvald doesn't like unexpected visitors? Sonoria spoke up, her calculated tone catching my interest. I was eager to see how she'd handle this interaction.
No, he doesn't.
I replied coolly, studying her soft features. She seemed to already be formulating a plan in her mind.
Come.
I commanded after a moment, leading her toward the elegant front door of the mansion.
We shouldn't keep him waiting.
The inside of the mansion was opulent and grand, expensive decor everywhere. Sonoria, however, seemed to be analyzing the personal details of all of it, as I led her toward the study where Mr. Schuvold was already waiting in his wheelchair.
"You're late!"
The old man's voice snapped grouchily as we entered. "It's my fault, sir," Sonoria spoke up, her gentle tone catching me off guard. She seemed softer now, almost kind and innocent, as opposed to the analytical calculations she'd shown outside. "Please forgive me," she continued as she gave a slight bow that the old man no doubt could barely make out.
"Johann, who is this?"
The man asked, his tone irritated. "My name is Sonoria, sir," she spoke again, her tone sheepish and polite. It was strange the way she had changed so quickly and effortlessly into a woman who almost seemed soft and kind. "Please forgive the intrusion. I'm a student at the university. Johann is going to be tutoring me in a few different subjects. We decided it would be more convenient to walk home together. I promise I won't be any trouble." The old man grumbled, glancing in her direction with the usual grumpiness I had grown accustomed to.
"See to it that you stay silent while Johann reads."
"Yes, sir." Sonoria bowed again, her now gentle demeanor causing my intrigue to grow, though my features gave nothing away. "If there is anything you need, please don't hesitate to ask," Sonoria told the old man kindly. "Perhaps I could make you some tea to make up for my unexpected presence."
"That would be sufficient,"
Mr. Schuvold grumbled in begrudging acceptance. As Sonoria disappeared from the study, I picked up the book I had been reading from the week prior, my smooth voice filling the room in beautiful Latin. Moments later, Sonoria reappeared silently, making little sound as she crossed the room to place a cup of tea on the small table next to Mr. Schuvold's wheelchair. Sonoria leaned just close enough that he could catch the faintest glimpse of her gentle expression through his clouded eyes, as if by accident, before backing away into a quiet corner of the room. The smell of lavender and citrus filled the room as the old man lifted the cup to his withered lips. Taking a sip, he paused, his stoic features giving away the slightest hint of surprise.
"This is sufficient,"
the old man told her gruffly. This was the closest the elderly man would come to approval, and I made a mental note to ask about the tea later as Mr. Schuvold gestured for me to continue reading. As I did so, I noticed Sonoria paying close attention to every word, though she clearly couldn't understand, as well as observing Mr. Schuvold's reactions. A few hours later, it was growing dark outside when the elderly man held up a hand to stop me.
"That's enough."
A pause before he gestured to Sonoria.
"Come closer, young lady. I want to get a closer look at you."
The girl moves closer. I don't like that she came unannounced. It isn't like Johann to bring people with him when he comes to read for me. Her features are soft and kind, but there's an intelligence in those rich brown eyes that reveals itself when I wave her closer. She seems understanding, warm, gentle, but there's a strange recognition there too, like she somehow sees the future or knows what's going to happen. Odd. How does she seem to see more than most? She doesn't appear to be planning anything, just knowing. I am silent for several moments. She must sense an odd discomfort in me because she gently asks if everything is all right. I wave her back with a nonchalance annoyance.